show for you guys today. So please put your hands together. Help me welcome Megs Thompson, who's a new business owner. Her business is Megs Writes. She's a professional copywriter and ghostwriter. Welcome, Megs. Okay, so I do these on the fly.
I love that.
Well, first off, let's do an intro.
Oh.
Today we're interviewing Megs. Actually, should I say ghostwriter?
You honestly, you can say whatever you want. Also with ghostwriter, I totally feel like a superhero or supervillain. And I love that.
Get you an outfit.
God, yes.
Not very crafty, but I do have some spare sheets. I could make you into like a superhero with a big old long sheet.
I'm good with that.
Let's give the listeners a little intro to who you are and what your business is, when you got it started, and then I'm going to start asking you some questions.
I mean, I've been writing for as long as I can remember. I've been writing for people and accepting money for it. Also sometimes alcohol, but mostly money, for like 20 years. I just decided to start my business actually during COVID. So June of 2020. By trade, I am a professional creative copywriter and ghostwriter.
So you just said you started your business literally like in the midst of COVID. The timing of it just seems like crazy to me, but
like probably not the best idea.
Well, no, I mean, I think that certain industries have done really well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, but like, what inspired you to do it then? And were you afraid?
Was I afraid? Oh, 100%. And I still kind of am every day a little bit, but it's good. It's like healthy fear. So what drove me to start it? Honestly, it's a little bit of like a long story, short version. I had worked in the corporate world doing customer service and management and training, and I was an insurance agent for a while. I did all of the things that, like, you graduate high school and you're told you have to go to college, and then you're told go get a job in an office and you're going to work in a cubicle and people are going to yell at you and you're going to like it. So I did that for a really long time. And then I started realizing that I was drinking a lot and doing other substances, and I kind of hated my life. I definitely wasn't enjoying life. I was not surviving or thriving. I was just existing. June of 2019, I basically had a real serious talk with myself, which I do quite often, the talking to myself, but I sat down and I was like, here's the deal. I mean, we work from home, so talking to ourselves is a big thing.
Yeah, happens all the time.
But I sat down and I was like, here's the deal. I'm giving myself 1 year. Like 1 year, I either need to figure out my shit and find a way to love what I'm doing because this isn't working, or I need to figure out a way to do what I love. So I realized pretty quickly that there was no way I was going to love what I was doing because it was horrible.
Doing at that time.
So at that time, I had been managing a team in a call center, coaching them and training them. And I loved my team. I just hated the company and the job. And then I had just left that and actually taken a position doing customer service and support for a company that professionally writes people's resumes, which that I was jazzed about because that I've done for friends for years and I still honestly do. But the customer service part I wasn't into. So I set that goal of basically giving myself a year. I did a lot of work, not in the first few months. I definitely slacked off until probably about December of 2019. And then I was like, oh shit, I set this goal for myself and 5 months are gone. I decided that I love writing. Words have always been what comes easy to me. And so why not see if I could do that? And so I started contacting friends and, colleagues from the past and seeing if anybody had any blogs they needed written or any advertising or newsletters, things like that. And then in February of 2020, I launched my website. Started reaching out to a few more people, kind of, pretending like, okay, maybe I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a business. I felt like I was like playing make believe every day. I'd wake up and be like, okay, so I have to do my real adult job. And then I get to play this afternoon, like play pretend. I'm a business owner. Then some people actually hired me to do it, like actually as a business. I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm not pretending anymore. June 2020 is when I gave notice at my job. It was actually 2 days short of my 1 year goal that I had like given myself. So I was like, no, this is happening. COVID be damned. Yeah.
You're like, you know what? Like
Yeah.
I set a goal and I'm going to just tell you right now that this is the end and I'm going to stop playing pretend now.
Yes,
I'm going
exactly.
to be a real business owner.
Exactly. I think, and when I gave my notice to my boss, I felt so bad. She was pregnant, ready to have a baby. And she was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready or if I'm not. And she was worried because, of course, COVID. So there's that, added risk. And then I was like, well, I have to tell her before she goes on mat leave. Like, I have to do this. So today it's happening. It seriously was a matter of like the night before, my husband and I sitting down. Oh, also, I got married during COVID. So that happened. But we sat down and I was like, I hate my life still. And he was like, okay, you need to just quit. I'm like, but when? He's like, tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is what I'm curious about, because in my past, when I have given notice at jobs, it's something that I stress about and I type out like what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say it. For you as a writer, like, okay, so you're going to give notice. Did you do it that way or does it just come naturally?
So this is super funny. I actually love writing letters of resignation.
Letters of resignation. Okay, you love it. Okay.
I love it. I've actually written, oh my God, I've written them for my mom. I've written them for my dad. I've written them for friends. I've written them for ex-boyfriends. I've written them for coworkers. I've written them for my own employees. Like, oh no, I'm like,
okay, so that's actually a service you can provide.
Oh, definitely. It's fun because I know it's really fun because you get to take what may be a really horrible experience, but of course you have to do it professionally and you have to not burn the bridges, but you also have to be very succinct and blunt. Like, hey, I'm out. There's no waffling here. Like, peace. So
don't try to like
bribe
me with any extra candy or
don't offer me a parking spot. I'm not coming back. Yes.
So you're a pro at that. So that night, did you type one out?
I did. I typed it out on my phone. Probably the little notepad function on my cell phone is the thing that I use the most out of anything on there. And so I typed it out and emailed it to myself really quick. The next morning, when I talked to her, I didn't end up even using it. We just had a quick phone call conversation and I was like, yeah, this is where I'm at. I got to go. And I think it also helped that so then she started going into labor and she actually had a baby.
Like right then?
Yeah.
Like
she had to leave.
Right at that moment, you're like, you put her into labor.
So you're welcome because she wanted to have the baby.
Yeah. You're welcome. I quit. Oh, you're in labor. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a win-win for everybody, really.
Okay, so then, all right. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Okay. Did you give like a couple weeks notice or what'd you do?
So this is one thing I do feel bad about. I had let it get to the point, and this is like a recommendation for anybody that's looking at leaving a job. I let it get to the point where I was so done that I was going to have a really hard time phoning it in. And I already have a hard time phoning it in. Like I struggle if I'm not being able to be my authentic and genuine self. When you get to that point where like you've been forcing it, it's not what you're meant to be doing. It's not a good relationship or not a good fit. I was to the point where it's like, I can't wear the mask anymore. I worked, I believe it was just about a week. I think by the time they told the rest of the team, it was like 3 days, but yeah.
Is that your dog?
Oh my God, it is. She is.
Your dog's trying to tell us something, but I don't know what. So someone could uncode that.
Yeah, seriously, let me know. She likes to be involved in any conversations.
We've got a interview with 3 now.
Yes.
So it's fun. Okay, a week notice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do feel if you're in a position where you're not all there and you're not able to put in 100% to the end, you should be done. Because you're not doing any service to the employer that you're working for.
Exactly. Well, and that's exactly, right? Especially in the position I was in, I was providing service to the company's clients. And I didn't want to be cutting them short or selling them short, you know?
I remember when I had decided to make the transition from my salaried position to business ownership, and I had that same, my head's not here 100% anymore, and it's really hard, and I don't feel that it's fair. This is a question that I ask everyone, and I want to know, when you think back to like your childhood and growing up, did you ever want to be a business owner? Number one, was that something that you thought that you would be? And did you ever have any experiences of selling little things or making things or anything like that?
I did. Growing up here in Bellingham, God, I don't remember how little I was when it first started, but the public library, they used to have a thing. Did you do that too?
Yep.
Ah, okay, I love it. So yeah, they would open it up that, you know, kids of any age, you could make things and then set up a table or a booth on the library lawn and sell your wares. I did that, I want to say like 3 or 4 years.
What did you make?
Oh my gosh.
What was your thing?
So I liked to try different things every year because a little bit of ADHD, I think there, a little squirrel. I was testing the market, if we're going to go with that.
I mean, that's genius at that age. I'm very impressed. Okay.
It definitely wasn't the short attention span. I think the first year I did like friendship bracelets and then I made beaded necklaces. My mom, super smart, she was like, oh, but the adults probably won't want those. And I was like, well, adults want snacks. So then we would also make like Rice Krispie treats and cookies because I wanted to, you know, have a broad audience. So
if you remember, did you make more money that year?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Oh my God.
Yes.
See?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then, oh my God, we made like Barbie furniture. We sewed it.
What?
Yeah. Not even kidding.
I'm impressed. Actually, I want to see some photos of the Barbie furniture.
I think I'll have to see if I have some. I'm sure my mom has some. My gosh. What did you sell? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Like, for the life of me, I'm going to have to ask my mom. Well, the other thing is, and if people have listened to prior episodes, with the one with my dad, where like I wasn't a salesperson, like my sister was, I definitely remember making stuff and I remember being there, but I definitely wasn't the sales girl. I was probably more like the bag it up.
We all have our strong points, and you knew what you wanted to delegate. I think it's awesome.
It was a good relationship. It was great. I wish I could remember what we made, though. Now that's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to call my mom out.
Oh my God. You'll have to let me know because I'm curious.
As a new business owner and during COVID, there's definitely challenges. I mean, people that have been in business for 20 years have had these crazy challenges in COVID. As you're starting out, what are some of the like challenges you found that you had to face?
That's a really good question. I think the biggest thing, and it was a challenge, but it was also something that really worked out in my favor, and I think has worked for a lot of newer business owners that have started within the last year or so, is because there are so many challenges, knowing that I have tackled those and come out and still been successful and had a business that is showing profit through a worldwide pandemic that has like rocked everything. I kind of feel like, okay, I can do this. Like, all right, first year in business is supposed to be hard. So then add a pandemic and everything is being shut down. Schools are closed. Everyone's out of work. Ready, go. Okay, cool. We got this. So that's definitely been a big one. I think one of the biggest challenges that I still work on every day is I'm very old school in the way that I think of when you spend time on social media, that's usually just for fun. It's frivolous. It's playing a game, growing crops or whatever it is people do with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I used to play
They're
that.
liking pictures.
Farmville or whatever.
That's what I assume in my mind with social media.
I do feel like there could be a sense of business minded in those games, right?
Fair.
It's like you were farming and you were earning money to buy more animals.
Is that what the purpose was? I love it.
I think we can use that as like part of your entrepreneur background.
Oh, definitely. Well, see, the thing is, I didn't do the
Okay.
farm one. I just did like popping bubbles. So mine was like completely worthless.
I want to know if you struggle with this in the beginning. I still struggle with this, and I'm going on year 7, shutting off the business ideas and work and all of that. And actually, I use that bubble game to stop my brain from thinking about work.
100%. You can ask my husband. So when he gets home, or like if he goes out to the store or whatnot, and he comes back and he finds me on the couch, I will be popping the bubbles, doing the bubble pop game, and I will have Bob's Burgers playing in the background. That's when he knows, like, hey, is your brain okay? I'll be like, no, I'm done today. I'm done. Like, that's, he's brought it up numerous times. Like, those are the tells when the bubble pop game and Bob's Burgers is on.
That's the sign. We've gone above and beyond. We're checked out. So don't.
That's exactly. Yeah. I'm like, don't ask me questions that are going to require much. Yes or no is where we're at.
Well, I think we just put in so much time into our business. And especially when you're starting out, you want to make it successful. And so you are doing everything in your power to continue and keep the clients that you had. Or, okay, so we were talking yesterday, and we talked about clients, how we want to have a beneficial like relationship with our clients and have good fit, like a good fit back and forth. We're a good fit for them, they're a good fit for us. Can you talk about a little bit of your experiences with learning how to set boundaries to get the right clients?
Yeah, that's a huge thing. It's so hard because when you first start out, just like you said, you're so, I don't want to say desperate, but like so excited about this venture. I mean, that's what I see it as. It's this new adventure. It's this crazy harebrained idea that I've decided to invest in and like latch onto and just go balls to the wall on. And I don't want to fail. I mean, we as humans, as people, we have a fear of failure. I would almost say that I think a lot of entrepreneurs, it's not even like failure. It's not willing to admit the failure. It's okay, well, a new opportunity came up. How do we do this? And so part of that, especially, I mean, definitely for me, I experienced it when I first started out. I was willing to write anything for anyone that would throw a buck at me. That landed me some amazing clients that I'm still actually working with today that, you know, we connected and they've got fun, quirky, different stories or businesses or brands. And I'm able to help lend a voice to those. And it's amazing. But there have definitely been a few where I accepted the project and went for it because I, you know, had a goal of what I wanted to make as an income for the month. Oh, that extra $2,000 is going to get me right there. Even though I knew in my gut, in the back of my mind, that the flags were there and that I should have just said, hey, no, thanks, we're not a good fit. But yeah, those boundaries are huge. Boundaries are something I've struggled with forever, like personal and professional. Speaking of writing, I'm actually working on my own book, and it's Confessions of a Recovering People Pleaser, because that's
oh my gosh,
that's something that I struggled with, and for as long as I can remember, that I always wanted to, you know what I mean? You want people to like you, and
I just want everyone to be happy. And so then being a business owner, and that's something I struggled with. And it was around year 4 where I just crumbled because I like literally realized I couldn't make everyone happy because they were starting to work with my employees and my employees weren't me and they were doing things different. And so I can't wait to read that book.
Yay!
When's that?
Oh my gosh, it's still something. So when I write projects for clients, I am super good with the organizational and the time frame and the delivery. When I write stuff for myself, it ends up on like 400 different Post-it notes and a couple recipe cards and maybe a napkin. And then I just stick them all in a box, let it like permeate with itself. So right now we've got a bunch of junk in a box.
It's like a fine wine. It's gonna, okay, I like it. So
they're into it. Oh my god.
So when you talk about like the red flags, I think that they're different for everyone, but like what are yours?
Oh, some of the big ones that I've definitely noticed. I think it's important for anyone, whatever business you're in or wherever stage you are, that you have some sort of like a get to know you, a courting process, an onboarding process with your clients. I had put into play right up front that because everything's happening online, I wanted to be able to have like a 30-minute video, FaceTime call, Facebook Messenger call, Zoom, whatever they wanted, where I could sit for half an hour and, ask them questions about their business, about themselves. I mean, I guess have it be like a little speed date, because I want to be able to write from my client's view in their voice and have it be authentic. I wanted to be able to hear how they talk about their clients, how they talk about their business, the words they use, the emotions, whatnot. For me, if someone's like, oh no, we don't need that call, we could just do this, that is a big red flag because either they don't value that connection, which for me, I'm realizing more and more a foundational key with my business is that connection, because then I'm able to better make the connection for my clients with their audience if I've made a connection with them, I guess, if that makes sense.
Because you understand them more. And I think that what's like important about what you're saying. Okay, well, number one, first off, client speed dating. Can we start an app for that?
Okay, not kidding. That's on a Post-it note somewhere here on my desk. I'm like, this should be a thing.
Okay. That actually
I love
is now a thing.
Let's do it. It's happening.
You mentioned your clients should align with your company's values and mission. And it's really hard to tell that in the beginning because you're so new that you might not even really know what yours are.
Yes.
Right. I like to kind of encourage new business owners to define their values earlier on so that they don't have those nightmare situations where you just get into the wrong fit and someone's asking for this huge refund that you're like, what? Like, I did all this work. But it's hard because then you also have to think about your presence online, getting bad reviews or whatever. So you're having to balance a lot of different things, learning how to do that in a way that doesn't jeopardize your business.
I started to learn it a little bit when I was managing teams, like in, past life, that setting those proper expectations up front. I mean, it was something that I taught my team when they were on the phone with clients or customers that were angry or upset about a situation, setting a proper expectation, hey, we're not going to be able to get you XYZ, but I'm going to fight for ABC. Setting that, because then in the end, when you come back and you're able to maybe give them a little bit more than you thought, deliver a little bit sooner, have a little bit better of an execution rate, something, just setting that proper expectation so that there's no letdown. And so then having that at the beginning of the relationship, the proper expectation of what can you expect from me as your new copywriter? What can you expect from you as, your accounting professional? What can you expect from the relationship? Just so that there's none of that icky later. Because in my mind, I was still like, oh, well, I'm still a baby business owner. If I send them a contract, they're going to be like, oh, who does she think she is? And so it was total imposter syndrome. I got over that pretty quickly. Probably about like month 3. I was like, screw that shit. I need contracts. Everybody gets contracts.
I'm glad that you got over that quickly, because that just helps get everyone on the same page and know, like, this is what I'm doing, this is what you're doing, and moving forward, you just refer back to it if there's conflict, right?
And I think part of what had me hesitating at the beginning was that I felt like my clients would see it as me protecting me. And so when I present it now, I just let them know, hey, we're going to have a contract in place. It's a mutual contract. It's for what you can expect of me and what I can expect of you. It's just to make sure that this is a lucrative relationship for both of us. My goal in the end is for you to be absolutely ecstatic with the finished project and for you to want to work with me forever and refer to me all of your friends. I just want to make sure I can do the best job for you possible. So let's get it in writing.
You're never going to sleep.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
I actually wanted to keep you hidden I still want to keep you hidden, but now I'm letting you out.
Thanks, Cami.
Because your work is just so amazing, and the word will get out, and you're just starting. So who knows what's going to happen? Well, do you have goals for 5 years out?
I'm a total vision board nerd and all about the mindset and that. So I've got, my goal for my first year of business was that I wanted to help ghostwrite 1 book. And within my first 6 months, I'm working on 2. So that self high five. I know, very excited.
Awesome.
Big overarching goal. I never want to go back to punching a clock for someone else. So that's just long term, never going to happen.
Yeah.
This year, 2021 will be my first 6-figure year. So that is very exciting. I'm actually in the process right now of working on creating some courses and workshops for other small business owners or people that are looking at making that leap to help them with really uncovering what their purpose is and what they want to pursue. Because it is something that I feel like it's so fresh for me, having just gone through this last year. But I want to be able to share that with other people because it is something that I struggled with. I mean, I started my first business when I was 38. I kick myself sometimes thinking, oh my God, if I had done this 10 years ago, if I had just listened to that inner voice, that higher self, and given her a chance, I could be so much further. And I don't regret anything. I think we all learn things as we go. But if I can help encourage and help support other people, pass on some of the hiccups and hurdles that I've learned along the way. So that's a big thing that I'm working on. Otherwise, just waking up every day and doing what I love and helping other people tell their stories.
I love that. And I think the biggest, like, as you're talking, it's mindset. So,
yes,
you know, when you're developing the course and you're helping people along, like, a huge piece of it is you've got to have the mindset to believe you're capable or you're good enough and accept the fear. And you can definitely achieve what you're hoping for. It's not easy. Like, we're always getting like bumps in the road, right? We were talking about how you're like, I've always been like a people pleaser, and so have I. Like, we have that in common. So it's been very hard. So that is a really hard thing to have when you're starting a business and you're then saying yes to everything. So we're saying yes, yes, yes to like so many things that we should have said no to. When we were talking yesterday, that whole situation of realizing that something isn't a good fit or is going to take up time in your day that isn't providing value or is setting you back. So when you're saying no to something, we realize that we're leaving open room for something that is going to bring us to the next level or whatever we want, right? Or a better fit. We're going to be able to make that client happy by leaving a spot open, by not taking that client that just wanted to come here and isn't a good fit. And we say no, which is really hard because we don't know where the next one's coming from. But the next one that comes that's the right fit is so much more fulfilling. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's something that I hope people listening to this can really accept and move forward knowing, don't worry, you leave that space open, you're going to get the right fit. So
I was thinking about it after we talked yesterday too, and I was driving home, and I'm a curvy girl, everything comes back to food. And so it made me start thinking about, follow me here, go to a buffet, and they've got like all the food out and whatnot, and you know that like some of that food's been sitting there a little while. Not that it's bad, but you just know it's been there on the warming plate. You only have a certain amount of real estate on your plate. And you're like, do I want, follow me here. Not that this is from personal experience at all. You're going through the line and you're like, oh, look at that pizza. That pizza looks good. But then you're like, it kind of looks cold. Like it's been sitting there a while. And you could just take the pizza. You could take up that real estate on your plate with the cold pizza that you're not going to enjoy and it's not going to be satisfying. But you also know deep down, like they're going to make more pizza in the back. Like pizza is coming. And so if you just go and sit down and eat your salad and you wait like 10 minutes and come back up, then they're going to have fresh pizza that's going to really be better for you.
I love that. That's, yeah, now I want some pizza. People can relate to that. Hopefully that's just what they think of after this podcast. I love it. When they're deciding to say yes or no. Do I want this cold pizza or do I want the warm one?
And just like you said, like that conscious knowledge that like, there is pizza out there. There's more pizza coming. Those good clients are out there. Just be patient. Hang out.
You don't want the cardboard pizza. You want the pizza that has all the toppings that you want.
That's still melty.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. That's genius. That's actually like the perfect ending to this, I think. Is there anything else that you would want to say to like people just starting out and during COVID?
I think the biggest thing for me is definitely going from being raised and growing up knowing that like, okay, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, knowing that that doesn't have to be it, that college is great. For some careers, college is amazing. And for some people, college is great. I mean, if you're going to be a doctor, I would really like you to go to college. That would be amazing. But like, if you have something that you are feeling called to, that you can't stop thinking about, and you are just so enamored with, and it's there always at the back of your mind and in your heart, don't discount it as being something that you could never make a living doing. Like it's crazy what people are doing right now. And at least you owe yourself taking the time to look into it.
And the dog
so
thinks
agrees.
so too.
She is
so
completely into this.
she's like, yes, she's right. So listen to her and make that step towards your dreams. And if you're struggling, then hopefully your courses will be up soon so that people can get some inspiration and help to move forward.
Oh, this was so
Thanks
much
for
fun.
doing this. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this story has inspired you and really will help you on your own journey to self-employment. If you or someone you know would be perfect for our show, please visit us at theselfemployedjourney.com and fill out the interview request form, or you can email us at podcast@theselfemployedjourney.com. Make sure you subscribe below to get notified of the new episodes coming soon. See you next time.